Hello and welcome back to Tron Sports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Last time out, I was building this, and this is not how it started. I actually started off with this being a depot goods yard combo station or combo yard, and after a short while I realised that not the best of ideas. It really is not working exactly the way I want it to. So I went and redeveloped it and turned it into this. Now this isn't great still. I think that there is still much that can be done with this. But for now, I think that this will pretty much have to do. At least in terms of styling. In today's video, I'm going to continue with some of the detailing on this yard. So there are a couple of things that I want to change. Firstly, the way the road station, the truck station, whatever you want to call it, the truck goods yard, is going underneath the road and then curling up on the opposite side. I'm not too keen on because it limits my ability to continue that train line out to the other side if I need to do so. So I'm going to probably get rid of that. I want to add a little bit of detailing around the yard just to give it a bit more detail, a bit more depth, a bit more flavour. I'm going to set up some bus routes in this area. I want to get the freight yard actually up and running. So connecting it, you can see the railway going off towards the top right, but that is actually not connected to anything. So connecting it over to what will become the marshalling yard and seeing what happens there. On top of that, I am still considering where the depot is going to go. I think I do need to have a depot, so I'm going to put some considerations in for the depot and see what I can come up with. So all of that is going to be happening hopefully in this video. This video might be a little bit shorter, perhaps about 40-45 minutes. I'm not entirely certain at this point in time, but it will be a little bit shorter than last week's video. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started. And whilst I've been talking through all of this, I have been just watching the trains toing and froing in and out of Berwick station and across the across the bridge, going out towards Ollerton and underneath the bridge, going out towards Croydon. So yes, there is quite a bit going on in this town. And I'm also noticing that all the bits that I've built manually really do look much better than what was built by the town itself. So I still have that sort of maybe building idea to take into consideration. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm not 100% certain whether or not I can commit the resources for that. But for now, I'm going to try and continue keeping the network or getting the network up and running. So let's get started. And that coal line that you see, or that coal train you see that is about to pass through Berwick upon Tweed, is probably on its last legs, because that line is on its last legs. I'll probably repurpose the engine and get it moving over to this side, which will be much, much better, I think, for everybody around. Right, so yes, first thing to do, I'm going to probably pause this, and the easiest thing I can do here is do that, put this back in, and just put it back in the opposite direction. So I just have to find what it was and try not to crash the game out. I think it was this one. I'm trying to think if there are any other mods I could potentially use. Yes, it was this one, and all I have to do instead is place it like so. So just increase the platform capacity. I think it was that. And it also means I can, should I wish to do so, add more platforms, which I think will look just a little better. Now, does say too much curvature. There are some issues I'm running into, but I think that might be because, right, city old, 1920 I'm sure will be fine. Station surface, gravel, coal. It does not really matter. I'm going to be repainting it, so I'll just put it as city old. Cargo stairs, enable, disable. I'm going to leave that disabled and see if I can fit that in. Perhaps 64 is a little much. Maybe if I do this with some extra wide. Yes, perhaps 32 extra wide that does not work. Twice as wide platforms, 2 platforms, 3 platforms. That works. And that does fit. So I guess I could do that and place that in like that. Now, it just means that this road will require a little bit of rework, but that is not going to be a problem because as I said, I was not particularly keen on how this road was going anyway. So I'm just going to demolish this section and rework this to be perfectly. So a main road, let's just start with just basic main roads. There we go, not that one. That is the one I wanted. There, just a straight road. Like that. Actually, an even better idea, now that this is like this, is if I were to create a road going out this way, like so, then curve. Oh, apparently the curve does not want. There we go. Then curve it in that direction, like so, which keeps it a little bit. That is what I wanted. It keeps it clear from this area. Yes, leave that perhaps up like that, and then right. Let's try and get this curve correct. There we go. Excellent. That looks pretty good. And then for this, what that gives me the option to do, or the opportunity to do, is wind this in just a little bit closer. So I can make it connect up like that, which I think is, that is a good enough slope. That isn't too much of a problem. I think we will have no real issues dealing with that. I have no idea why this brush size keeps reverting to that such a large size. Smooth this all out, smooth this out especially. So that bit in particular needs to be sorted, smooth that out. I think I will... this bit's going to need a little bit of work, so I'm going to have to be very careful here. So the idea here is I'm going to try and lift. So if I do the flatten tool, there we go, like that. And then of course this is a little bit lower, so then I need to use the smooth tool just around here. Either that, or the other option I have is lift this a little bit higher, which might be even better. So if I get rid of that, grab the flatten tool again. So I flatten this whole area. This is all okay. Like that. Then I'll smooth just the edges here. There we are. That looks all right. So I could put a wall just here, should there need to be a wall, and then put the gasometer back in. Not that one, it was this one, wasn't it? So I put the gasometer back in at, well, as I said, it was going to be fairly close to the back of this. So I could have it that it sticks out just a little because it still works. So like that. So it still works as long as I paint that the correct colour. Okay, so now that I have all of this, see, another thing I could now do is I'd like to make a small adjustment here, because I think having a single track splitting into 3, no, I suppose that could work. What I would do, so that's the platform. So the only other problem that I might have is that should I break this bit, I have a feeling that that will no longer be supplied. There you go. It just is not long enough. And should I put track here, I do wonder why has that happened? Why has that happened? Stop that at once. You should not have to deal with this. This should be absolutely fine. No, this should be absolutely fine without you. There we go. See? There was no issue. Okay, so my concern was something different, but I'm just going to test this, I guess. Time to test the concern. My concern is unfounded, because I could still do that. It would still serve it. And I can very well just have a few wagons sitting here, which is what I was after. So I can just do... What I was planning to do was, yes, this, and then just smoothly move that in. That wasn't quite the angle I wanted. Not that. There. So that keeps it nice and open, and all I wanted to do was just have just a little bit of detail just here. Nothing too, obviously nothing too major, just something sitting. In fact, I've just realised that I have a golden opportunity to put a depot right here. How did I not see that before? That is an excellent opportunity for a depot. Now, of course, it is going to run into a few problems with regards to trying to get trains in and out into the correct stations and things like that. But I could always run it and have it, whatever it does, it would pull into the marshalling yard and then go from there. So I'd just tuck a bunch of trains into the marshalling yard manually and get them going on heading on their merry way, if I needed to do such a thing. Okay, let me see what a depot would look like here. So, railway depot, building depot. I want quite a large depot. A double engine shed. I could do that. Or I could do a turntable as well. No, I'm not going to use the turntable. Just thinking double engine shed, which would park up. I think that would be a very easy. This would look quite well done. The only thing I would need to do is flatten the ground to a specific level. So, for this, let me flatten the ground to let's take that as the level. And there it is. So it will lower certain bits, raise certain bits, and everything should be fine. Now, the next thing I need to do is check the length of this. Is it large enough? It really isn't. At 179 meters, that is not large enough for a depot. However, should we require extra room, I could have it curve around all the way up to this section and have that be the depot, which would then require this road to lift up and go across as a bridge, which I'm sure I could manage. That shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, things are about to take shape. Things are certainly about to take shape. Let's go ahead and adjust all this area for now. So where did I take the screenshot from? I think it was here, wasn't it? Yes, so that is going to look, well, let's have a peek. That was the screenshot. Yes, so things are going to look a little bit different on that side as well. Okay, good. Although, in reality, I probably should now demolish that and grab a keyframe here to show what is about to happen. Let's try and grab a keyframe there and say, there we go, this is going to be... What on earth? Never seen that before. Oh, is that my keyframe? How do I get rid of my keyframe? There we go. No, apparently not. No idea what that is. Just add a keyframe. No, not there. Add a keyframe. That would probably be a little bit better to see. Yes, add a keyframe right there. I really should have used these keyframes a long time ago, but never did. Okay, straight back to work. So, depot. What I need to do is building depot. Let's put 2 sets there. I have no idea why that one is complaining, but I'll manage this a little as well. I'll smooth this out once I'm happy with how this all looks. And then what I need to do is start working on seeing where this track needs to go. So what I could do is have it run as it is right now, parallel to this 160 yards, and then have it curve like that. Now, unfortunately, the only thing I'm concerned about here, and really I'd like the depot to remain flat. The only thing I am concerned about is the fact that this curvature is not going to work all too well. But I could push this further along and have it curve in a little bit later, giving me some more room to play with. So I'm going to make an attempt of that. Yes, I'm going to make an attempt of that. So let's break this bit. Let's focus on getting this bit in first. So we have this straight bit here. Let me put that to 150 yards straight, as opposed to perhaps curved, unless I were to That's a waste of space, though. That truly is a waste of space. So what I would rather do... Let's get rid of that one. What I would rather do is build this so that it works out more parallel with that road. And that actually sits a little better too. There we go. Okay. Now, if I were to create the straight path, there we go. Much better. So I can do 200 yards of this. So let me actually put in 200 yards of each one of these. Now this one, this is where things get a little annoying, because this is not quite where it needs to be. So there's always this little gap like that. But I think I could get away with it. So just very carefully put the 200 yards in. There. And do the same thing here. And then I'm hoping that this one is not okay. So I need to give this a little larger gap, which is fine. Or do I need to? Do I need a second engine shed? Can I just park the engines out in the rain? I'm not going to add a second engine shed. I'm just going to add one engine shed. If you think about it, you could fit probably 2 engines in there at any one time. Carriages will be out in the rain. Yes, this should be all right. What I will add here is something else afterwards. So let's go ahead and just pop that up to there. Okay. So that's 200 yards all the way, which shows how this is going to have to change. So how am I going to... This is going to be a problem. I can see this being a problem, but I'm going to try and do my best to fix the problem. Because I built this the wrong way. Of course. I need this. This, okay. Everything is about to go wrong. Do not mind me. Cargo station very quickly. This one, what did I want? 250 meters, right? 250. It is now facing the right direction. Radius. There, how many tracks did I have? 3. 3 tracks of that. Both, that. 3 tracks. Right. Let's try and open this up as best as possible. Small, slight issues. Although I say slight issues, I could just push things around and out the way, if need be. And I can always push this slightly further along because of the room that we now have. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll just create a gap here. Just temporarily, I'll clean it up afterwards. See, I could do that. And just like that. That doesn't seem too problematic. Yes, that does not seem to be too problematic at all. And then if I were to... So that curvature still sort of works. And then if I were to, let's just take one of the tracks and have that going straight out along this road, I can certainly see this working. And then it would have to curve on this side. So really it's going to be coming in from this side of the marshalling yard. Now, of course, the marshalling yard is going to become all of this. But I think... Well, let's find out. Let's just see. So 4 of these, as I said, this bit I can peel off from here, let's say. Let's try and converge these into 2 track. So let's get this curving around. Another 200 yards. There we go. 30-degree curve, would that work? I think a 30-degree curve is pretty good. Yes, 30-degree curve is pretty good. So trains might actually have to sit in a lot of this, unfortunately, if I'm parking trains here. So that is why I'm doing this. So that gives me 400 yards. At 350 yards, I will have to... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. At 350 yards, I'm going to have to do something with these trains. Let's try and do that. So, as a count, let's go... So that's 300 yards. Let's bring it up to... Actually, let's do 330 yards. Like that, and then do a similar thing here. It would be just slightly more, because obviously radius of the curve. Do that. There we go. That seems reasonable. Now, if we have shorter, this is going to be for, of course, the longest of trains. If we have shorter trains, see, they'll have to pick also a few other things that need to be attended to. Yes, there are a few other things that would need to be attended to. So a crossover needs to be right here. Like that. Now, if you have a shorter train, you could put one of the, say you have a 100-yard train, which is a fairly, it's still a reasonable train. It could be like a little, I don't know, a tube length train. Some of the, as I've said, some of them are about this length. So you could fit one of them there. Should you, in fact, maybe I can fit 2 there. Let's try this. How much closer can I get this? Pretty close. That's pretty close to the road. Any closer here? Yep, can do that too. And just from here, right, I could do something else, which is give it another 20 meters. See if that, it accepts that. Will it accept this one? Yes. There we go. So that is a possibility for some of those. In fact, what I could have done, I've really messed up here, so I could have just had them pointing out in that direction. So this whole area becomes a depot. Yes, I could have had them just pointing out in that direction. Let's do that. Rework. Yep, that sort of works, but I'm just going to peel that off a little bit more. Yes, face that way. Good. There we go. Some of the shorter trains or engines can just pop in here. Give me something that isn't too much curvature. There we are. Can you not get all the way to the end? Yes, you can. Not quite. Why are you complaining? Interesting. There we go. Could put a couple of things there. That looks good. And if we wanted a few other trains, we can sit them in about here. Yes, if we need to, we could sit a couple of trains in here. Maybe a train down there, a train all the way in here. In fact, if we put more trains in here, we can turn this into a water tower. One of these can become a water tower. So that allows us to sit a few trains in these locations. I could even cut this one up and have this point out. Oops, break that bit too. Have this just turn a little. Do that. And point out to the end. Actually, could even get another one of these in. Actually, no, wait, leave that, because that just gives me another location for a pretty long train to sit. Yep, that works. And should we want to just put a loco in there? I suppose sometimes you would do this. Just leave enough room for a locomotive to sit. Good. Both sides? Have enough room just here for a locomotive to sit? Yes, there we go. That looks reasonably realistic. So that is going to be the new depot. I could very much create a small section here as well for the depot to, if you wanted things to go out in that direction. But I'm not going to. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try to work this around somehow and see where this needs to go to join up with all of these tracks. So possibly have a track running parallel and see how that connects. That is what it wants to do. It isn't too bad, but I'm not entirely keen on that. What I would rather it do is follow around like that. Actually, that isn't great either. What I would rather it do is not that. What I would rather it do is still not that. Or is that just what it was before? No, it's slightly further out. That is better. That is what I would rather it do. Okay. Good. That is all looking pretty depot-y. That isn't a word, but oh well. Now, what else do I need here? Say trains were going to go back this way. Would I need to double track this area? Would it be smarter to double track this area? That is the big question. Just to future-proof it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to double track this area, but I am going to consider the future of it. And in order to do that, I'm going to think about where I put other roads in order to, in case I need to, double track that bit there. Or I could just put, you know, some ballast down should I need to. But I think that is working quite nicely. So great. I will then go ahead and grab this and use the eraser to cut a path through here as it should be. I can then demolish this because it's, yep, no longer required. And now we can start looking at all these connections. So first off, I need to work out which connections are going to be going over to the depot and which ones are not. So if I were to put this into the depot, it does that, which is not horrendous. That isn't terrible, but it isn't exactly the straight line I was after. Still not a big problem, but I would rather it looked better. So if I do, actually, looking at that, I suppose it would actually make more sense that, hey, look, we misaligned things ever so slightly. And if you look at that, the misalignment is not that great. It really is not that great. So I could just do that and say that is how we are doing things. So I'm just going to put 3 of these in just for now. I know that this bridge bit is messed up already, but I will handle it. So these are the only 3 that need to now go in this direction. That is important. That is pretty important to note. These are the only 3 that need to go in this direction. Okay, now what I need to do is break, or very specifically split, the tracks. So let's split it there, and let's split this track there. So now what I do is I connect up these 3 like this, and these 3 are connected. Oh, why are you not happy with this? There we go. These 3 connect like this. Next up, we do this, and we try our best to lift it. Which apparently does not want to lift. Why do you not want to lift? Is that not a thing that can be done anymore? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Why are you no longer lifting or dropping? That's not the one I was after. No. What has happened here? Okay, let me give it a... Maybe it wasn't long enough. That is why. Oh, it's really not enjoying the lift anymore. It used to be able to lift a lot more than this. Okay. New plan. Try and lift this entire section. Okay, I know for a fact that I had this working a couple of weeks ago, so I have no idea what's going on now. Or last week, I don't say a couple of weeks ago. But why are you not allowing me to... I know what I want. Okay, I will probably try and work that bit out off camera. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm also going to pick up we'll try and put a keyframe in here because this is all going to change. So let's add that as a keyframe because this is, yes, this is no longer going to look the way it does. Lots of changes about to occur. The marshalling yard, this bit will probably remain for the marshalling yard. All of this is most likely going to change. Some of this might remain. That is going to disappear. This road will... I'm probably going to end up creating a bridge, turning this road into a bridge and having that as a main road going out that way. So that might happen. But yes, this is going to be a new setup. I'm just a little bit annoyed about why this is not... Does it do it with a road? There's a question. Yes. It does it with a road. Why can it not do it with... I mean, I know railways are not quite the same, but can I... Okay, I found a cheating way to do it. This is really, really dodgy, but I'm going to try it. So, grab the ballast, create that, create a road alongside it, like that, do that, break a section of the road, break a section of the rail. That's too much of the road broken. That's okay. Do that. Oh, blast. That is not what I meant to do. Try that again. One line of ballast. Let's put the road on this side. No, I need the road on that side. Put the road there. Right. Get the splitter. Split the road there and split the road there. Break that center section. Create one of these and lift it up until it bridges. There we go. Create the type of bridge you want. So let's see. Oh, I could use that. Those nice bridges again. That was not the nice bridge. There we go. It isn't quite the right size that I want it to be, though. That is probably going to be the better option. So a nicer colour that I could use. Use this colour. What other colours are being used in this area? Darker brick. That colour is what is being used. Okay. Do that. Now be really awkward. Destroy this. Put the track in with the too much slope and build anyway. Okay. Now put the next bit of tracks in with the exact same issue. Please work. And it isn't in the right. So small problem is that the angle of the bridge is not quite there. I will work this out. But right now this isn't the entire issue, so I just want to make sure that this, at least if I can get this working, I know that this is how to do it. I can then connect all three of these. There we go. So there's no issue. But then what I do is I then take this, start there, end there. Yep. Ramp equalizer. Please work. It does. I then take the next one, start there, end there, ramp equalizer. And lastly, start there, end there, and ramp equalizer. Okay, so the reason I'm having trouble with this is because of that, but I could then click this and potentially it does let... Okay, there could be potential for this. I just need to get the bridge in the exact right spot. For example, that could just about work, but if I then go ahead and very carefully split the bridge here, or split this track there, break... Oh no. Oh yeah, I've had this trouble before about demolishing these. For some reason, you cannot demolish certain bits. Okay, split the track about there. Break that bit. Split the track there. Break that bit. Split the track there. Break that bit. Right. Connect up with whatever I'm going to connect with. So let's just use the 5 mile per hour track for now. Okay. Make an adjustment to the bridge. How does the bridge now work? Oh, it's on the wrong side. There has to be an option here. There must be a way to do this. I mean, I could do that. It is fairly realistic. You just have this streamed... That is fairly realistic. I'm not against that. That is not. That is terrible. Oh, that's nice. Now I understand how that works. Oh, that is actually very nice. It puts the little borders up. So that's a single, that... Okay. I'm not trying to create a block. How about any of these? Will any of these do what I want it to do? I mean, no, I think the best option might be this one for now. So I'm going to replace it with that. There we go. Good. Coming up to the end of this video, a couple of things that I need to do is I need to set up. So this is FRRD. That's okay. So this line is the line that needs to change. So we need to take it to here. And we'll leave it going to there for the time being, just to clean things up. But we'll do that. So it goes to the brickworks, it goes here, and then it goes there. We're going to then cut this bit out soon. Okay. This is all... Oh, this is not touching anymore. Of course it isn't, because this bit changed. No, this bit didn't change as such. I failed to do something here. What if I fail to do that? That is probably what I failed to do. Oh no, it still needs a little bit more of a connection. There we go. I could then, if I really wanted to, just dip this down. Let's dip that down a meter. There we go. It's a little bit steeper. In fact, what I could do is dip this whole thing down just a touch. So select that, dip that down a meter. There, that does look just a little better. And so start there, end there, and just equalize that, please. There we go. Gives this a nice smooth ramp down. And then for this bit, as I've mentioned, let's cut it just there. Oh, I didn't let it do the cut, did I? Cut it there, break it there, and then let's start lifting this. So we should be able to very easily, yep. Oh, it should work. I'll make it work. Very, very easily do this. It's not the greatest at the moment. So any other ones we could use? Can we use this one? This one is the smoothest of the lot. It really does work nicely. So I'll just do that. Up to, let's do, right, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. 50 degrees? I think 50 degrees is a good option. Build this anyway. And then from here, it comes down. I'm not sure what bridge pillar collision it's looking at the moment, but sure, build that anyway. And we could have a road run alongside here. But then we have that road, which I need to make some use of in some which way. Things are going to be a little bit wonky on this side, I would say. So I need to figure that out. Final touches. I'm going to put a water tower over here. I think that is what I said I would do. We could put 2 here. Coal, should you need to. Unfortunately, I still cannot do this. I mean, I could do this one. Because what you could say is that the way we transport it in a specific way, and then you climb up and shovel it in, or whatever it is. I'm sure I can come up with something, but also I will put this down next to it. There we go. Some railway buildings in the area. I think that could look nice. A signal box for this area. I suppose you could work out from here. That would take a lot of effort. Somebody left a great comment about how these signal boxes worked. But I suppose you could have a signal box here. Not sure that's quite the right thing to do. So yes, I'm not entirely sure about that one. And of course, some railway buildings down on this side because it just looks the part. So I'll try and put just a couple. They all look different. That's interesting. I have to figure those out. I'll do something about that. Some cranes. Yes. I think that is something we wanted to do, or I wanted to do. There we are. Cranes are great. Suppose the odd person milling about. There we go. Anything else? Some old buildings just in the area. Not not particularly. I guess 1 or 2 would be all right. Near the depot as well, I guess we could fit. See, there I would probably put the buildings in that location. No idea what that is going to be useful for at the moment. That all looks fine. Let's go ahead and park a train in here. 1910. Sure, let's park up. Let's park up one of these. I'm not sure I'm using any of them, but let me park one of these up. There we are. Autosave is definitely telling me it is time to end, which is good. Important information. Some wagons, which I will place. I was supposed to do something else here, wasn't I? But I haven't quite got that done yet. Place some wagons about here. Just some empty goods wagons. In fact, I'll put a couple of those in too, and to add a little bit of colour, let's put that in with some covered wagons like so, and a couple of flat cars. There, that gives it a, that certainly gives it a look. And let's have a few wagons sitting here, oil. Or tar, apparently. There we are. Shunting engine. Put one of those tank engines in. Parked up just here. And I shall put another one parked up. Let's park one up just here. Oops, wrong way. Wanted that the other way. Like that. Just sitting here because we have none of these on the main line yet, but I think it is my intention to perhaps have these running on the main line. I shall place one of those, and then it is my intention to probably have these running on the main line. So I'm going to place a rake of these. There we go. That is looking like a depot. That is definitely looking like a depot. Where else can I place things? I suppose I should probably place a few of the current ones that I have, which I have no idea where they are. I know I've used them before. Coach. Can I find coach? No. Carriage? No. What do they go under? This one says coach. Well, that does say coach. There we go. Let's put a few of these in. Brown and cream panels. Brown and cream, yes. We are going to be improving some of this. This is 1910, so we are looking to start improving our lines. Where would first class to third class go? I assume it'd be first class right at the front of the engine, right? Not sure. Not sure at all. There we go. And because I'm not going to be using both of these, it's just going to be, some of this is for show. I'm going to, in fact, why don't I just place an old Pullman coach in here? Even though that Pullman coach is probably never going to be used. No, I'll place a couple of these old ones in here. There we go. A very busy, potentially busy yard. And I could probably place a few wagons down here too, if need be. I could place some of them down along the side. But at this point, I'm not going to do such a thing. I think what I am going to do, though, is just because I can, I'm going to do this and pop in just a few more freight. Let's put a little bit more freight over here. What would I like to put? A couple of those would be nice, but I'm going to put some of these. Put some of that, and then sure, there we are. That is not too bad, and I think that is the point at which I am going to end this video. Should I do that? No. There's one other thing that I need to do, and that is find these, find out where that coal transfer is coming from and to. So that is where it's going. I need to replace some of this with, let's just replace this all with 10 mile per hour. No, let's replace it with 20 mile per hour track from here. So I know just before that, it's all 20. Yep, that will do. That will do quite nicely. There's a way in and out of the goods yard. I'm going to put some signals just here. Let's go ahead and pop those in. 1, 2, and 3. And how should this work? So manage line, that into there. Yes, I know. Back to here. Okay, so it needs to do a little crossing there, but that should be all right. That should be all right. What does it want? 2 and 3. 2, 3, and 4. Where is it going? 2, 3. There we go. That's better. Okay. So that is going to be the new place for it. Then let's get that running. That is not bad. That is not bad overall. I think I've done a reasonable job there. So let's go ahead and take some screenshots and end today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think, any suggestions you might have. Nothing's happened here, has there? No, nothing has happened here quite yet. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series, where I think it is time for a new marshalling yard.